Okay, we're struggling here, and that's a good thing because our ultimate objective is to control the light and shepherd it in a good way. And, it's got a series of problems that we're solving in turn. Now, here's the thing. Let's just get this on the table. I could establish my camera position, lock down on a tripod, and shoot the room with absolutely nothing going on in it in terms of my light, black, wrapping, or anything at all. Get an exposure for the exterior, have that on file, okay? And then in Photoshop, after I photograph Chris, the portrait of Chris in the position I'm going to put him in, and that exterior that I've made without him then gets sandwiched together, composited, as long as I don't move the camera off the tripod and I stay locked and fixed. That is one way of going about this. The other way is to take, and I have a couple of slivers of highlights from my strobes in the sky. We clone those out, okay? That's a post situation. I really struggle to achieve a photographic solution. I figure the art form of pushing the button here is the art form that we're engaged in when we're in the field. So as best I can, I'm going to craft this picture so it jumps out of this camera onto the computer screen, and we have to do very little to it. That's our mission today. So here's a couple of problems. I'll pop up this LCD here, this wonderful handy informational device, the weather report for location photographers. Here we go. We're getting there. It's starting to look and shape itself into a portrait. I've got a problem up here with a sliver of highlight, but if you notice all around the rest of the frame, due to some of the black material I've put up in the room, all those other highlights and kind of flares and reflections are gone. Little highlight on the desk, still sort of misplaced. We're still going to have to work on that. And I'm also going to take the computer when we get it into, get Chris into the final form here. We're going to push the computer in on the desk so it occupies a little more room. Also going to artfully, hopefully, place the chair so it's kind of it has an interesting shape, and I like it. It's kind of silhouetted against the window and the skyscape outside. So those are next steps that we're going to take, and little by little, this is building blocks. Hopefully, you're seeing that as we go forward here. We're struggling by looking at something, solving the problem, creating two more, solving those, finessing, coming back, all those things. We just keep working and working and working to craft this photograph. Very nice. Let's take a look. Highlights just about where it should be on the desk.
I'm sorry, I wasn't flexing that time. Can we redo that?
Will you pipe down? This is serious business, what we're trying to do here. You have to maintain some levity amongst the crew, and even in your own head. Go to the happy place. Even when you're sweating bullets and you can't figure something out, like now, project confidence. Okay, you can really convince people to take a long walk off a short pier with you if you simply appear confident and knowing and self-assured about what you're doing. Okay, and hopefully that's what I'm projecting to Chris right now, even though I'm running out of the room going, oh my God, how am I going to solve that? That's the standard issue procedure for photographers. It's like, okay, we do all this publicly. We're tweaking and pushing and pulling, and our subject is looking at us like, why are you going to all this fuss? I thought this was just a picture. Okay, yeah, it is just a picture, but you can see the kind of craft, and work that's going into it right now. Now, Erin, could you come on and go on chair duty, please? Brad, please get in position. Okay. Now, I want to position that chair in an advantageous way. Now, move it essentially where you are standing, please. No, actually, I lied. That's not good. Go that way with it, please. Okay, keep going. And turn the profile to me now. Okay, now pull it back towards you just a little bit. Okay, and go that way now. Okay, good. We can leave it right there. It's just a little bit of a shape in the background that might be kind of cool. All right, now, let's see. Okay. Erin, do you know the SB800s well enough to pop them up one stop? They're at once. Hit the plus. It'll go from 1/16 to 1/8 power. Okay, Brad now has a lunatic grin on his face. Cool. Oh yeah, Mr. Corporate Executive. One of the last problems we have is that little sliver of light there, and that is, solvable. That's, maybe not completely, but we can get it a little bit better than that. The other things I'm going to look for, of course, are any other kind of errant hits. That's, again, where this cursor function of the LCD is happening. You can see right there over his shoulder. I've got a highlight there, a warm highlight off the wall, and I've got the two blaring highlights of that set of SB800s. Now, let's talk about the SB800s for a second. It's a mode not all that many people use all that often. It's called SU4. SU4 mode in remote operation for the SB800 takes those units and turns them into manual slave units, which is the type of thing that we have had since time immemorial in photography. Optically driven, remote controlled, or remote flash units. Okay, so there's no automatic TTL being conveyed to them. There's no exposure information. They're basically at this point dumb as a post. All right, I configured them. I took all the fancy business away, configured them into just the old style, optically driven slave eye. It's going to trigger off of this light. As you pop this light, we have it baffled. You see right here, but there's a sliver that window is seeing, right there. You see, and that's why the highlight reflects this too. See what I'm seeing? Okay, it's just the bottom third of this softbox. So, a couple things we could do here. Let's try something quick and dirty. Okay, let's get some gaffer tape, please. Or we're going to lift this hole here. Great being a photographer. You really never get out of grammar school because I'm 55 years old and I'm playing with paper and tape. Okay, so there you go. Now, here I am trying to solve one problem. What's the other problem I might create here now? I'm dropping or I'm eliminating the baffle for the wash off of here. So I may find out to my dismay that when I do this, the light's coming out of here, popping off of this, and I have another type of a highlight that I would love to get rid of. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. All right. Now, we have moved the light. We have inadvertently, we turned the light down, and it's not on a good angle anymore. But you see the highlight there, the hot highlight is gone. But what is happening is, as I mentioned, we've got now a soft wash out of this wall back here, okay? That's maybe curable. And of course, inadvertently, when we were messing with the light, we repositioned it in the bad way, so you can see there's only a sliver of light on the subject's face, but we can fix that too. So, as I've always maintained, you give a little, get a little, okay? Excuse yourself, Aaron, did you eat Mexican last night? My goodness. Anyway, you try to, that's why you don't want the subject around when you're going through all of this. This is a very unusual situation in that Chris, who's the president of the company, very relaxed guy. He's into this. He's sort of taking a look and seeing, okay, it's kind of fun. He took our picture. So there's a banter going on. That oftentimes doesn't happen in a corporate scenario. You want to hit it hard when the CEO, subject, whoever it might be, is gone, away from you, done, complete. You use your assistant as a stand-in. You craft the environment, craft the light. The subject walks in, no muss, no fuss, boom. What are they going to spend with you at that point? 5 minutes? That's okay with me, actually. 5 minutes is all right. Most CEOs aren't going to give you much longer than that anyway, unless you kind of, have them trapped with you in an 80-foot bucket crane, the way I did once with Michael Eisner down at Disney. The two of us were, up in a bucket crane overlooking one of the main Disney venues at wasn't the Magic Kingdom, it was the Disney MGM Studios when they opened that. So Michael and I went up in an 80-foot bucket crane. Disney would do these things for you. Somebody like an Eisner, being the very public head of a very public company, was well aware of image and how important it was, so he was willing to work with me. But most CEOs walk into the office, stand there, look at you, give you their 2.5 expressions that they own, and you cover those, and you're done.